on, guys? Welcome back to the Carry Config podcast. My name is Brandon.
And I'm Ron, and this is Carry Config, where we talk about everyday carry, gear, loadouts, and everything new pertaining to the everyday carry world. What's going on, man? How you doing?
Dude, I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm good. We just got done doing the live reaction stream for episode 2. We're doing this new thing where we're premiering it on our respective YouTube channels, and then afterwards just hearing what y'all think. So that was a good time.
Yeah, a quick 5-10 minute live. I mean, that was great. And then
you know what's funny? That ended up being 20 minutes.
Yeah. Oh, it did it? Oh, okay.
Effortlessly 20 minutes. Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's how live streams go, you know. So what have you been up to this past 3 weeks, dude? Give me an update.
Oh man. Yeah, it's actually quite busy. We had a lot of things going on just work-wise, you know, just more projects coming in, a lot of filming, editing, the whole deal, but also, you know, personal life. My little one just turned 2, so we had a little birthday party for her.
That's awesome.
Oh my God, it's
What'd you guys
fast,
do?
dude.
Birthday party was just like hung out?
Yeah. You know, we kept it cozy this year. Last year, you know, we did it big with all the decoration stuff. But this year, you know, she loves Mickey Mouse. You know, she discovered him
awesome.
a few months ago. So she's all about it. So we did decorations, had a few people over, and just kept it cozy. Real fun.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome, dude. Congrats.
Yeah, how about you, dude? Thank you.
And happy birthday.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. I know. Congrats on making it this far as a parent.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean,
how about you?
We had a wedding down in Vegas, and it was pretty ruthless.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of people there, probably like 80 to 100 people. Shared an Airbnb with my family, and then some of my cousins, and there was like 12 people in a single Airbnb.
Jeez. Oh,
and I'm pretty bougie when it comes to hotels. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'll just put it out there. Like, when we go down to Vegas, it was in Las Vegas. We like to stay in like the Cosmo, Bellagio, like that type of setting. And then when we're sharing a bathroom with like Balin, his girlfriend, my other cousins, it's just like, dude, it was.
I've shared a bathroom with Balin and you. And it's already sketch, and it's just the 3 of us, let alone like 12, you said 12 people?
Yeah, dude. Well, I mean, it was one bathroom for 3 couples. No, 4 couples. 3
couples?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, so
I was going to say, like, how big was this Airbnb?
It was a decently sized house, but it was pretty ruthless, dude. I'm not going to lie. Like, we had like no space, but
yikes.
You know, it's over with now.
Yeah.
And with Asian culture, it's different, man. You know, like it's just like the expectations of what happens. Because I was filming the entire thing pretty much, and that wasn't fun because I was just like, you know, I wanted a vacation, but it was more like work than anything. I
didn't
think I
know
told
you
you
were filming
that.
it. No.
Yeah, I filmed.
You're the wedding videographer or something?
Like the door games, if you know what the Chinese or Asian door games are. And then like the tea ceremonies, all that stuff. So. Yeah, I was a videographer there, and then my other cousin was a photographer. Thank God.
Yeah. Can you imagine having to do both? Oh, dude.
Ooh, not good.
I feel like it's exacerbated too because people know that we're content creators, so they like look to us to be like, "Oh, you're the video guy. Like, take some video."
Exactly, dude. I got that so much down there. They're just like asking all these questions and like, "What camera should I get? I want to start a YouTube channel." I'm just like.
Oh God!
Here we go.
Here we go. Yeah.
But
you got to just give them the spiel. Just be like, "Hey, man, the camera in your pocket," and then just go from there.
That's the way to go. Well, hey, I mean, the camera in your pocket is the best camera, or the camera that you have on you is the best camera, and we've said that in previous podcasts. But so I think we want to talk about budget EDC and a few other topics. But I kind of want to get your gist, man. With you being like a beginner, what's your budget EDC looking like nowadays?
Well, for me, I just recently put together, it's an upcoming video, but I did like a budget EDC from Amazon under $100. And I won't spoil too much about the content, but one thing I will say is that formulating an EDC loadout with a specific budget first, especially since on my channel for the last 3-4 years, I've been talking about living with purpose, right? And so purpose is where you figure out what you're going to be doing with this loadout and then curating, tailoring your kit accordingly. But also one of these purposes could be, financial constraints. We don't all have like $1 million to spend on premium quality stuff. So we got to make sure it comes into budget. And it was tough. kind of because like
Yeah.
I'm a gearhead and I have very specific requirements with like my wallet, my keys, and I found that coming in under 100 for a combined, it was like a wallet, keys, a knife / multi-tool.
Everything.
And
That would be a
Yeah.
struggle for me. Like, I'm not
Yeah.
going to lie. I was in that budget category back in the day, right? Like when I first started, I was just like, okay, I can afford this Civivi shredder and it's like $50, or whatever it is. And then like the SOG PowerPoint, that's like another $50. Dude, that's like $100 right there. How can you like,
Yeah. And you're still in the
That's
knife
crazy.
realm. You
Yeah.
haven't even like tapped like your bag, your sling, your wallet, your keys, all that stuff.
yeah, dude.
It's hard. And like one thing I asked myself a lot when I was formulating this kit is like, is it always going to be price versus quality on opposite ends of the spectrum? Like, is there a scenario when you can get both?
Price and quality?
Yeah, because usually
it's
you pay a
starting
lot.
to go that route. Yeah,
for
I mean,
quality.
with the EDC in a whole, with the niche, I mean, there's a lot of new budget brands that are huge now versus what it was like 4 years ago. Now that I think of it, like,
That's true.
they're just improving in that budget category. There's so much competition that there's more innovation than not, if that makes sense. Because like in the higher grade or in like the custom category, you don't see a ton of innovation in comparison to the budget category just because of the competition there.
That's true. I mean, they have to
So-
find creative ways to like come in under budget, but still offer a decent quality build or materials or whatever.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
no, that's cool. That's a good
awesome.
note because like as time goes on, technology will get better and better. And
Right.
you know, if you're holding out for spending less than $100 on a complete kit, you know, I think it's just a matter of time because people are going to get
Most
creative.
definitely.
They're going to be like, you know, no one's going to want to spend $100 on this
Yeah.
titanium wallet. So let's find a way to bring it in. You know what I mean? Like, how do we
Yeah.
get it under 60? How do we get it under 50 and all that stuff?
For sure.
So,
Exactly.
nice.
And I mean, people will also start to get more into EDC, and your budget is going to increase most of the time. I'd say like, 80% of the EDC population, they get into it and then they just full send. Take your time
This
in
is
the
true.
budget categories, like, really enjoy it. So that way, when you get into the higher end categories or price ranges, you can really enjoy that stuff. And that's why I've been trying to like nail down on you. I mean, it was probably a bad idea to recommend getting an F5.5 for you because I mean,
yeah.
that's a
I
really
went from
damn
like,
good knife.
yeah, I went from like $100 knife max that I was willing to spend on it out of pocket. And then I went from that to straight up $229, like full titanium F5.5 from Irving EDC. And you know, it's a great knife, like especially with all the time I've spent with it. It was an Urban EDC, Jesper Voxnay's collaboration. And you know, it's a solid knife, but you're right. Like I did jump that gap. And so now I look back at like budget knives with like, that's cool, but I already got this.
To beginners, like if you're a beginner EDC enthusiast or wanting to get into EDC, I would just really suggest that you really take your time and pace yourself because it does get pretty crazy when you jump into it. So just take the baby steps and take your time. That's the biggest suggestions for an EDC beginner, in my opinion. So
absolutely. Well, another thing I was thinking with budget too is instead of just trying to think of like what's the flat number I want to spend on my kit in one go, there is a case to be made of just saving for a few months. So instead of saying I got $100, I'm only going to spend $100, you could say, well, I want to get a high quality loadout, so I'm going to figure out what I want, tailor it to purpose, and then save for the next 3 or 4 months. And that way I can afford, a $300 kit.
Yeah.
Yeah, without breaking the bank or like, having to eat ramen noodles for the next 2 weeks because you couldn't afford it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And the saving is a huge thing too. Most people have to save for customs unless you're like really well off, to the point where like for me, I'm saving money for Blade Show Atlanta. So that way I can like score Rosie or a Mini Arius or whatever it is.
Ooh.
So we'll talk about that here in a second.
Into the wish list. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll cover that stuff here in a second. But saving is going to be a huge deal, especially if you're trying to chase a grail piece. The way that I see it is like when I first started, I started collecting a bunch of knives and I just resell them and then put it into a pot if I don't want that knife anymore. And then with that pot, I can incrementally get that bigger and get whatever it is. Like for example, the Chris Reeves on. Like I had to sell a few knives to get that one knife, but it's just kind of how it goes for me. So
Yeah. I mean, that's another point too. Get creative. Like for example, like I just recently locked in my 16 to 35 millimeter lens.
Ooh, baby, let's go.
Yeah.
Yes.
And like the variable ND filter. So I'm ready. I'm getting ready for Atlanta. And we'll talk about Atlanta, Blade Show Atlanta in a little bit. But I had to save for that. And what I did was I traded in some of the gear I wasn't using, my camera gear. So, instead of just thinking, just one angle of attack, like, oh, I got to save because I got to spend. It's like, what types of gear are you not using anymore? Or do you have like a backpack lying around that's in good condition that you want to just kind of give back to the community and turn it around? That way you have some funds for new stuff that you're eyeing,
Oh, most definitely. Yeah. And that's the name of the game as well with the whole YouTube content creation thing. Like you got to sell your old gear in order to fund new gear and then also put more cash on top of it. But, it's worth it, dude. It's an investment. So that's awesome, dude.
And I love the community aspect of it too, because like the budget gear that you come up with or you kind of throw back into the community, that someone else is going to get good use out of it because you yourself have had already gotten a lot of use and mileage out of it. So,
yep, exactly. Cool, dude. Yeah. So, moving forward, I think we want to talk about our one and done backpacks, right? That was one of the topics that was brought up.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll go first. So my one and done backpack is interesting because I've covered a decent fair share of backpacks on the channel. We've got your Mystery Ranches, Urban Assault 21. You've got your Able Carry Daily Plus that recently came out that I really liked. And, it's hard to choose for me just because my loadouts kind of vary drastically depending on what I'm doing. If I'm just going to the coffee shop to take care of emails on my laptop, it'll be a little lighter, but still a laptop backpack. But if I'm doing something like Blade Show Texas, I'm running the full camera travel backpack gamut in the Nomadic Peter McKinnon 35 liter. It's got the dividers in there. It's got everything you need to create content, but it's huge. On the back,
dude, it's pretty big. Yeah. I mean, seeing you carry that around is just like, whew, I got a tank on my back, but it works. Yeah. It worked really well for you. At least it looked like,
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, it served as sort of like my hub or my station where, I could switch out lenses or swap out batteries whenever I needed to come back for a little something. But, when I was mobile, I had it stored and stashed in a safe place. And, I just ran with a light loadout, so to speak. But I digress. My one and done backpack is the Air City Pack Pro. So I'm gonna do a video on this soon. It hasn't really come out yet. I'm still testing it out, formulating it. But I love the overall like high quality build of this thing. It's a city pack, so it's designed for urban metropolitan use most likely. And it's your coffee shop loadout. You're taking this thing with all your tech accessories, your laptop, all of the gear, and throwing it in here and heading out point A to point B. It's got a lot of padding. The ballistic nylon is done really well here. I think it's like the texture or something that has something to do with how it's done, but the straps are solid, lots of foam padding, so the ergos and the comfort is on point. And, it's got everything you need to stay organized, but still like very, very mobile. And finally, it looks super sleek and minimal. It's like,
dude, Air makes some good stuff. I say it all the time to you. It's just like that sling that you gave me, the Sling 2. It's just so high quality. It's also made, isn't it manufactured in SF?
I don't know about manufactured in SF, but they're headquartered in SF. Yeah.
Have you been there? Yeah. To their headquarters?
No, not yet. It's on the wish list.
Like, you got to go. I mean, I'm
walk
5 minutes
up
from Nomadic, but
oh yeah, that's right. That's right. We got to make things happen. 2023. We still got half a year. We can make it happen
for sure. Mm-hmm.
How about you?
So for me, it's got to be this guy right here, the Nomadic 25 liter Peter McKinnon collab bag. I mean, it's just. I've been carrying it. I used it down in Vegas. I used it down at Texas. And then I just love the versatility of, I guess, the camera organization inside it. Like you've got like a top shelf, so I can just easily put my camera up top, like right here. For those of you guys that aren't seeing this, there's like a garage loft area up top, but I love this thing. I can just put my camera here, and then if I need it, I can just unzip the top, grab it. And that was one of the biggest things that I liked about the Peak design. I think it was a 30 liter everyday bag, is it also did have top access, but what I hated was like that side access on there. And I don't miss that at all. This is
what's funny? They formulated that as like a quick access thing, like the side pocket. They marketed that as like
it's not though. Yeah,
oh, it's not.
Honestly, I mean, it's cool that you can just do it to the side, but I can do the same thing with this on the top axis. And it just got really cumbersome. Like if I wanted to just lay my bag down and then see all my gear, you can't do that with it. You have to do it through the sides. And it was just really annoying. So my one and done bag is definitely this one. It can fit my MacBook. I can fit 2 camera bodies, 3 lenses, all my microphones. Like it just fits everything, man. I can even attach
all in a 25 liter. That's nuts.
and I can attach my gimbal to the side of it. I put some paracord on it, and it just works.
Okay. Modding it now, yeah.
Kind of, not really. I mean, there's some Molly right here, and I just kind of looked it through. So
it gives you the flexibility to kind of change things up if you so choose. Depending on what
throw on my tripod, throw on my gimbal, water bottle, whatever it is, So
yeah. Nice, dude. That's a great choice. That's a great choice.
It's been amazing. I got that for my birthday, and I don't think I want to switch anyme soon.
Dude, you came up on your birthday, bro. Like you got a lot of good stuff.
yeah, I guess so. Nice. But cool. I think the next thing I want to kind of just divert this into is Blade Show prep. Because we got that question from our boy Brad, Alpha Prime EDC. He was wondering like, hey, what do you do for Blade? Like, how do you prep for that? And this episode should be airing pretty soon to Blade Atlanta, the biggest Blade show in the whole of I think it's like the world's biggest Blade show. Yeah. So what do you like do in terms of prep? Whether it be the money that you need to save or what type of things are you packing? How many days are we going? All that stuff. I want to hear it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, first and foremost, I feel like we have to kind of take it from different perspectives because we're going for work, basically. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So for us, our loadout, our prep is going to look a little different from the average convention goer who's just going to pick up their grail or just to check out the show. So for me, I'll propose some specific stuff for content creation, and then I'll propose some general stuff that I saw from Blade Show Texas that I think would be useful to just about everyone who's trying to attend the show this year.
Beautiful.
For content creation, man, it's like, you have to bring all of your gear, really, because you never know what you're going to see, what you're going to need. So we're talking camera bodies, lenses. You covered that a little bit just now. Gimbals, you know what I mean? And just all the accessories that you need. Your laptop, cables, obviously.
Tech bag,
editing.
Yeah, dude. All that stuff.
I guess we just have to figure out, like, what do we want to get done at the show? Like, we're going to put out some videos. We're going to do some live streams. So we need streaming equipment. We need video equipment. We need editing equipment. And we have to get it there safely because we're traveling, right? So... roll out your Pelican cases, your hard case luggage, because you're going to need to bring all that and make sure everything is nice and safe arriving at the airport and all that stuff, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm in the same exact boat. Like when it comes to Blade prep for me as a content creator, maybe other content creators are listening to this, but I take about 2 days ahead to just pack the camera gear, and I have a checklist that I have to go down because who knows if you miss your charger, what are you going to do, bro? Like if you don't have a charger, you're just screwed. You have to go buy another one. And I mean, just being prepared is going to be a big deal for us content creators. Like we just have to have everything ready. I'll offload all my SD cards and then make sure they're all empty. So that way I can bring the SD cards and stuff like that, tech accessories, like you're saying, cables, like you guys should have seen Blade Texas. Did we even show that with how many cables were just going around? Ron and I had to bring a power strip each.
Yeah. Each is really where it's at. Yeah. We needed like powered USB-C hubs. Like it was a lot of juggling and passing back and forth equipment because sometimes one of us would need gear that the other wouldn't, and then vice versa. And so it was just about like gathering this, like you said, a checklist. And I checked it, triple checked it like before I left because I was like, I better not have forgotten like my camera battery or something or a mouse because my productivity is going to go out the window if I don't have my mouse. And
Yeah, I mean, a funny story is like that the wedding that I was talking about that we went down to last weekend, I forgot a plate for my DJI RS3 Mini, and it's the horizontal plate. I had it in a vertically mounted position. I lost it, or I didn't lose it. I left it on my desk, didn't check it, and dude, it was the worst. I had to freehand everything down there. Having the gimbal would have just made it so much easier. We're talking like 200 gigs worth of footage, all freehand. So
oh my goodness.
It was pretty rough.
Good thing you have those gimbal arms, though.
I guess, yeah. I mean, I can use that, but like when you're holding it just like this for a very long time, and like, dude, my arms were dead.
Fatigue.
Completely dead. Yeah.
Fatigue. That's why you gotta make sure your fitness is on point, man. It's your number
of
one
course.
EDC, bro.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, one thing I wanted to mention before we move on is some general stuff that I noticed, like just as someone going to Blade Show for the first time, and even veterans alike, is that you got to bring something to sit on. Like I saw some pretty cool stuff like camping chairs, but then there was this one really cool one that it was just like a canister. And it was just this circular thing. It was like maybe 9 inches in diameter. But then you could just unfold it real quick and it becomes an entire like seat that you could just pop down. Because, you know, if you're going to Blade Show, most likely you're going to be waiting in line to get in. Once you get in, you're probably going to be waiting in line at your favorite, you know, knife maker booth or whatever, trying to, you know, score on some rare piece of gear or drop that you can't get anywhere else. So it's going to be a lot of walking. It's going to be a lot of standing. So the consensus from talking to different people is bring something to sit on and make sure you have a good pair of shoes, good pair of walking
Dr.
shoes.
Scholl's.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. And then to make sure that you stay hydrated. Yeah, bring some
absolutely.
water. The Blade Show Atlanta, what I'm expecting, my expectations are like people are going to be lining up at 3 a.m. 3 a.m. all the way up until like 10 a.m. or whenever the early bird passes happen. We're not going to be doing that, I don't think. Maybe. I'm not sure
I hope not.
what type of passes we got, but
I'm trying to get some sleep.
yeah, exactly. And the last time, dude, the last Blade, just based off of experience, I believe we burned out. I don't know if you burned out, but I
It was tough. I mean, you took like a whole week off, I think.
Yeah.
And just to recuperate. And I put out one more video when I got back just because it was like the recap and everything like that. And then after that, I was like, I was done.
You're like,
tapped
okay,
out.
let me just rest a little bit.
Dude, we didn't sleep until like 5 a.m. some of those nights or mornings.
Yeah, 8 a.m. for me in one of them. I think it was Saturday morning or something like that.
Yeah,
That
was a rough one. I think I finished up because usually, you know, we finish around the same time just because like our workflows are pretty similar. So we were editing side by side in the same suite and it was a lot of fun. But I noticed that like you stepped out and then when I was done, I looked around the room and I was like,
Where is he?
not here. Yeah. Where did he go? So, you know, I think I shot you a real quick text and I was like, hey,
You
man,
okay,
you
bro?
cool?
Yeah, no, I was just like, bro, I need to step away for a second.
Yeah. It's all part of it, bro. And I get it. I think we do need to do a little bit better of a balance job in terms of, you know, editing, working. We're going to do a live stream, I believe, that weekend. So it's going to be 5 days and it's going to be grueling, but I think there's some wiggle room to be better about balancing, and we're going to network as well. We're going to enjoy the show also because, you know, we got to make sure we give you an accurate representation of how the show was, right? So
Yeah, absolutely. And so my focus for Blade Atlanta, I said in the last one, is just to really film a lot and then put my best effort when I get back. I'll put out like a video or two. There's going to be a very special video dropping while we're down at Blade. Ron knows, but you guys will have to watch. Okay.
I'm excited.
There's a really special one. And I'm super hyped for that as well. But yeah, I mean, that's my plan. The live streaming, of course. I just want to take it a little bit more easy during the nighttime. So that way I can connect with you, with any like Ricky, the people that we're going to be with a little bit better, because like when we were down in Texas, I was just thinking, I need to get back to the hotel room to edit.
Yeah.
And that was kind of stressful. Whereas like, I just wanted to hang out with people and like chat and like, you know, just take it easy. So I think that's going to be my approach. And in terms of balance, like that's a big thing to do when you're a creator in any regard, because I even burned out when I was, you know, just barely starting out. That was a big deal. Like it really stirred up the pot in terms of my relationships as well. And you gotta pay attention to your loved ones, and you gotta spend time with them and make sure that, you know, they're not sacrificing too much, because they already do. Like I appreciate Ashley so much for giving me the time, the extra time to make these videos, because it is a lot of work. Like even moving the set, like it's not just like turning on the camera. We got to like put together the entire set every single time.
Yeah. And details everything. So you got to make sure every little thing is in its place, whether that's, you know, that V100 sitting behind you or some practical lighting. Like you got to make sure everything looks good before you even press the record button. And then especially if it's not for just yourself, but if you're doing like branded content, you know, if you're doing sponsored content and people are sending you out to, you know, Blade Show Atlanta to kind of make this stuff for them, like you got to make sure everything is crispy, and it takes double the time, easily double the time.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I totally see that. And that's exactly what is like my biggest downfall into content creation, I guess, is the balance. Like it's
work
really
too
hard to balance it all. Yeah. And we're both perfectionists in that way. Yeah. Like we were just talking about it, like this shelf needs to be straight. And I agree with you on that. Like if it's just a little bit off, like no. Okay.
Yeah.
So
OCD.
yeah. And then it takes time to put together. I mean, like how long does that take you to just put together one scene in that sense?
I think at the very least, the prep needs to be like an hour. Like,
okay.
And that's just for a typical video.
Yeah, exactly. And I didn't know if I was taking too much time or like what it was, but if it's taking you an hour, that's how long it takes me to put something together at least. So,
because I got to make sure everything looks good. And like, I got dogs at home and it's not a sterile environment here. So I got to make sure my top downs don't have like random fur in the shot. And like my bags don't have hairs on them. I go over them with a lint roller before I do anything.
Oh, same, dude. I have cats, so it's like make sure everything is clean. So
yeah, I mean, it makes sense that like we show not just brand new gear all the time because I want to make sure I show that I'm putting in mileage in with my backpacks over time and use and all that stuff. But I think also we are perfectionists. And we do want to make sure it looks good at the end of the day. So if there's anything I can clean, spot clean, lint roll, like to make things look better, I will.
Yeah. The shirts are the worst, dude. I don't know if your dog sheds, but like
yeah.
So much cat hair is like I have to lint roll every single time. It's crazy. But I mean, going back to the Blade Show prep, there's some suggestions I would have as well. General guidelines, I would suggest that you guys bring cash. That's a big deal with a lot of the tables that they typically only accept cash. Like maybe some tables will do Venmo, but most people are doing cash. If you're chasing something, make sure that you are prepared. Like you could look at the floor plan, make sure you know where you're going because
draw a map.
Yeah, draw up a map, see where your most favorite makers are, and then go to them. Because people are going to be lining up, like I was saying before, and it's going to be crazy because they're going for their grail pieces. If you have a grail piece that you're chasing, maybe it might be a Zon, for example. Look up the makers list, find out who has a Zon, and then make sure that you're at that table immediately. Because if you don't, then you're going to miss out. Like for the mini areas that I'm trying to get, it's going to be like, bro, I might need to line up early in order to get that because there's probably only going to be like 5 of them. If not less.
Bring your running shoes, bro. People run. Like,
yeah, they do.
I witnessed this for the first time in Blade Show, Texas.
Was running. Balin was running.
like full on striding. Like
they're like, slow down, and then people are like, no, let me through.
Yeah. Let me through.
yeah. So.
Open the door.
Yep. So I just wanted to put that in there. I guess the last thing that we should probably talk about is our pocket dumps, right?
Dude,
I want to talk about.
Let's go. Let's get it.
Okay.
Do you want to do the honors? You want to do me first?
I want to do you first. Let's see it.
All right. So first up, in the pocket, I've got the GOM. God of Mischief coming out of Renegade EDC. So this is a front flipper. No, please. No, please.
You got this.
I'm gonna Spidey flick that. But look at this thing. It's very interesting to me because it has like a straight edge. It's not like a drop point like with any sort of belly. It's just a straight.
It's like a modified Warney / It's not really a sheep's foot because it has that angle there.
Yep. Yeah. Forgive my layman's terminology with knives, but it's a looker, and it's got black micarta inlay, or I don't even know if it's an inlay. It's just like
it's a black micarta inlay. It's a bolster lock. So it's like a frame lock
right here,
liner.
Right? So this hybrid, is the bolster mechanism right here. And, it's got
blacked
that wireframe clip, deep carry, blacked out. Yeah, dude, this thing is super smooth. And, Chris Lassiter, he let me use one of these during Blade Show Texas. And then he said, just take it home, see what you think, let me know. And it's magical, to say the least.
Yeah, shout outs to Renegade EDC, man. Chris is awesome.
For sure. Next up, tactile turn, full zirconium. I love this thing, man. This is the slim side click, and zirconium is interesting because it's got like a unique weight to it, and it's not lightweight. I mean, it is lightweight, but it's not as light, relatively speaking, to like aluminum, and it's got a different texture than to titanium. Tactile turn always machines their signature tactile kind of feel on the pen, So
with Zerk, did you know that it's extremely hard to get that finish? I was talking to Jamie, JRW, and I'm just like, dude, how do you get like if you've seen raw Zerk, it looks like titanium. And they have to do this crazy heat treat process just to get that really cool brushed aesthetic and that glossy black. Yeah. I plan on doing that in the Pocket Dump or the Pocket Art video. Kind of explaining like, hey, what's the process and getting into that. So
I mean, that's a good video, I think, just because like I feel like EDC is really interesting because there's a lot of ways to approach it. But then once you get into pocket art, like I mean, for example, like I picked this off of our boy Ricky, but that's a full Ultim Bonehead from Workerman, and awesome. You know, I love the way Ultim looks, and this thing has a plug, and so it comes apart like this. So there's two.
Oh, what? That's cool. Yeah. I've never seen that done on a Bonehead before. That's sick.
Yeah, exactly.
I thought it was just one
piece.
So
I think this was limited. Yeah, usually it is. Usually it's just this by itself. But then I think when he did it, he released it like this. And I don't know if like I mean, I got the secondary, so I don't know if this was like the complete set by itself. But this thing is pocket art to the max. It's an SFK. We'll leave it at that. But yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to that video whenever you come up with that. And
yeah, it's gonna be hard.
You know, share some knowledge.
That might be the thing that we do at Blade and Land. We'll see. That might be one of the videos. But okay, what else you got?
All right, got keys, of course. Orbikey KO. This one is the silicone, the PVC. No, this is TPU polymer, and it is the gray active Orbikey. So it's half the cost, but also almost twice as robust as their flagship like leather organizers.
So how much does that one go for?
This one's like $22.50.
What?
US.
That's it?
Yeah.
Oh,
yep.
Man.
And their flagships are usually like $43.
Yeah,
exactly. And you've got the mechanism, 2 to 7 keys in the pocket. I only have 4 in here, but that leaves room for other things. Like they have a multi-tool you could slot in there. You could even slot in your oversized car fobs. If it so fits and you only have like 1 or 2 keys, you could just throw that on there as well. And then I got a little Daily Carry Co. pry bar titanium thing slotted in the keychain here.
Nice. I just got a big shipment from them.
Yeah. This is in there, I think.
Yeah, that's sick. Okay.
So that's there. And then, of course, got me some lip balm. Summer's coming up. You know, it's going to get pretty dry out there. So you got to make sure you got some lubricant for them smackers.
Dude, actually, I mean, here in Utah, it's more dry in the winter season by far. So
I remember that.
Yeah.
When I visited, like, what was it, like October, November time?
It was like, I think it was October, November-ish, and it was super so dry. Yeah. Dope,
but yeah, that's what's in my pockets this time.
Okay, cool. So in my pockets, or my knife, I've got my Chris Reeve knives in Kosi Tonto with some natural micarta inlays. This is the oldest Chris Reeve knife in my entire collection. Ashley got this for me, I think Christmas of 2020. And this was a grail piece at one point. This doesn't get a ton of pocket time just because I like to baby the hell out of it. But there's some snail trails and stuff like that. It's the S35VN version. Just a really cool looking knife, in my opinion. And a lot of people love the Nkosi, like even over the Zon. But yeah, this is really, really cool. I've also got some pocket art. So the notorious EDC titanium big Papa beer bomb with the JRW Curator tie bead. So this thing is pretty cool. I think I've shown it in the other podcast.
Yeah, it looks great. I mean, that's a good combo too. You know, the stone wash is on point on both pieces, and you know, it's one of those grails. Look at that.
Yeah. So there's that combo.
Flat lay worthy.
Yep, exactly. And next up, I guess my pen of choice is the Tactile Turn Full Standard Bolt Action. This is the Stealth Edition. Yeah, so this is all red, it has red accents, it has a tritium inlay on the top.
Oh, nice.
And yeah, I mean, Tactile Turn, they just make the best pens in my opinion. They're just really good. After that, we got some stuff from Moment. So this is my AirPods Pro Gen 2, I believe, with the Moment case on there. So this is pretty clean.
That's looking good. Real sleek.
Yeah, it is.
That's like the one complaint I have with AirPods Pro is I wish it came in different colors. Because they got the Apple Watch in black, right? Like,
yeah, they just need to make it all black. Like, come on, man, Apple.
I know.
Why do they have to, the white is just like so obtrusive too, or intrusive when you're out in public. The black is just more low key.
Sleeper, yes.
Yeah. So got the AirPods case and then the Moment new, I guess, MagSafe case that they have. So this is for the iPhone 14. This thing has been great. Lots of protection. I love it. So
Yeah.
here's my pocket dump.
That's awesome. That phone case, I've noticed that like there's very subtle nuances in the machining, like whether it's the edge, the bevel of the case, and even around the camera cluster. Like there's certain ways, like the shape of it makes everything, even though it seems really simple, like, oh, it's a phone case, measure out the iPhone, slap some material around it, and that's it. But there's a lot of different, like even the buttons, how they're formulated, the clicking, the tactile feel of the clicking.
That's a
when you
big
press
deal
it.
for me, dude. I normally don't like having button overlays on my iPhone cases, but this one feels amazing. Like it's easily accessible. I can click it, no problem. Some of like those Tech 21 cases from back in the day, I don't know if you remember those.
Yeah.
But they're like the ones with the orange liners, like tapping or like clicking the volume buttons was just not satisfying at all.
It was gummy. Like you had to feel like you're pressing through like a piece of rubber. Yeah, exactly.
Cool.
Nice, man. That's a sick loadout, dude.
Appreciate it. I think, do we have anything else that we want to talk about this pod?
I think we're chilling, man. I mean, we're ready for Blade Show Atlanta. It's going to be, I mean, by the time you hear this podcast, it's probably happening right at this moment, you know? It's going to be wild. We're having a lot of stuff planned for that event. I mean, we're going to be there for, I think, 4 or 5 days. And
Thursday through Monday. I don't know if you're staying Thursday through Monday, but that's
it's the same amount of days. Yeah.
So I guess everyone stay tuned for that content coming. I think you're probably going to post videos faster than I can. So
I'm going to try.
I'm
going to try. But at the same time, like I think you've got your plate full in terms of like all the obligations that you have and the things you're big time. They're big time 500K plus.
Get out of here, bro.
I'm over here, I'm over here just like climbing the steps. But no, I think we're going to make a lot of content. And, all for you viewers and listeners out there, I think it's going to be a great time. But yeah, I mean, let's wrap this up. I mean, you can find this podcast in all the usual places. We got it on Spotify, Apple, Google. You can view this video podcast here. If you're just listening in, we have a video version of this podcast up on YouTube. It'll be on EDM's channel. It'll be on my channel. We're alternating. We have a playlist on there. Just Carry Config Podcast. Search that up and you'll find us there. But thank you for tuning in. This has been fun. I'm Ron.
I'm Brandon. And we'll have to catch you guys on the next one. Peace out.
Take care.